I got the last two hashtags are any last words and speak up. So we're gonna promote your
Absolutely.
promote your mixtape, not your mixtape, your album. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. The title says it all. We're about to have, yes, we're live. We're having candid conversations with Interp and StottyP, no particular order. Members of DC, Distinct Coalition.
I didn't wear my Green Tree shirt today. My bad, Block.
Oh, no, it's all good, you know what I mean? Because I'm here to expose the North. So if you want to wear a T-shirt from another entity on the show, by all means, feel free to do that, bro.
Oh! I tried.
You did.
I tried.
You did. You almost caught it.
This right here got in my way.
Yeah. It spilled a little bit. We got a little spillage.
Didn't you spill last time we were on the show?
I did spill last time. I did.
Never spills when it's just me and him.
Nah. It's all good, though. It's all good, though. Plus, it's on the stool, yeah, so.
Wait, which one's yours? Is yours open already?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter because they both been open.
Okay, I was just like, okay, which one is it? All right, I'll put my stuff on the floor. But yeah, we're live right now. This man to my right brought Christmas early with the Any Last Words
yes, sir.
album.
I brought beef jerky, but nobody talks about that.
He bought jalapeno beef jerky still, and it was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. Any last words? All platforms, 9 songs. Go check that out.
Yes. Check your favorite streaming service and look up StottyP. Any last words?
Sure.
Yeah, shouts out to everybody that's sent me feedback so far. It's all good. So far, I haven't heard one bad thing really. So
That's dope.
sounds like I'm doing something right.
So is this. But yeah, man, and you know what? It's a long time coming too. I know I've been working with you last 2-3 years, like steady. You have like a 15-year history, as I saw from that post about the thing. So you know what I mean? Like, I can't speak to it as well as you probably can, but like, I know you've done a lot of collaborations over the years with a lot of people. Namely, this year, what was it? This year, earlier this year, like June, I think it was, the one you did with Keith Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to see all the collaborations you've done, it kind of had me wondering, well, when's he going to drop his own album? You know
Yeah,
what
and
I mean?
that's why I didn't put anyone on the album as far as collaborations go, because I just feel like I've done a lot of that. So I just wanted to show the other part of the repertoire.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's deep still. And like, okay, so what would you say is your favorite track on the album?
At first it was Miserable, but now like I'm hearing a lot of feedback back, and like Lend a Ear it seems to really hit with a lot of people for some reason. And then Insight is my other favorite. I think it's from start to finish.
Yeah.
I think it's all just my best work, period. So, I mean, I'm really proud of it, and
Right.
hopefully it translates to everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask him a question, but then he put food in his mouth, so I'll wait.
And he's smoking a blunt at the same time as he...
You
Man,
know,
pass that shit, Turp.
It's my motherfucking blood.
all right.
All right, what do you want to know?
Okay, so now what has changed the most based on your perspective, like with Stott, from when you first met him till now? Like musically,
That's a good question.
like musically, even, or like otherwise.
His versatility.
Okay.
Um,
Elaborate.
he used to focus, like back in the day, more on just like the bar strength, like bar for bar, he'd punch most MCs out even back in the day. But he's definitely become more comfortable in his own sound over the last probably 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
You know, you might hear him sing a little bit on a joint. You might hear, like, he's more comfortable with the beats he chooses, with being more creative,
Okay.
putting himself out there more.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I really try. That's definitely something I really and I see a lot of Distinct doing that, and not just. I mean, I feel like it's becoming a little bit more of a trend, Niagara wide, that people are actually starting to talk about their real lives instead of just rapping, and I feel like we had a part to do with that, and you know. I pushed my team to do that as well, and I think that they took that and ran with it, and it just works because I'd rather listen to somebody tell their life story as opposed to fucking somebody sit there and just rap to rap and just do a bunch of multis and freestyle every week. Freestyle every week just for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Who cares that you can freestyle for 10 minutes straight? But what are you actually saying?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's the thing with a lot of what's going on nowadays. It's like people are rapping what they want to be without rapping what they are, and I mean, even for myself, I'm not like. I guess I have a bit of a facade where it comes to my portrayal because I don't swear in my compositions, but you'll catch me cussing like a sailor if something goes wrong in my everyday mission. You know what I mean? So, you know, I guess for me, where it comes to writing things down and like what you said about pushing the team, like when I first did that reggae song, which I never thought I'd do because, like, you know what I mean? It's just being born in Canada, even though I have Jamaican parents, I wanted to have respect for the culture by letting the real, like what I saw as the real artists do. But then when you enlighten me to the fact that it's in my roots, it's in my heritage, which I knew, but you know what I mean, you kind of open that door.
And nobody else does reggae around here. Like there might be a couple people, but I don't hear them. And like, where is their shit? They're not pushing it to be like Body Language is sort of a reggae track.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In a way, but it's more of like, it's like reggae club. And like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I dropped Caravan a Weekend August 3rd.
And nobody else is doing that. So
yeah, man.
And I heard you performed it and it did well. So
oh my god, yeah. They loved it. They loved it on the stage. I was just like,
that's a big thing.
I had to that's why I shout out to the Stings when I started off the track, you know what I mean? Not only did you produce the track, I think you sent me the beat.
I did, yeah.
You know what I mean? You sent me the beat, then you produced the track, and you know what I mean? We worked on like the release of it. I said, yo, we should release it here because, you know, Caravan Weekend, they're just playing the reggae tunes. I sent it to King Turbo, you know what I mean? So for all I know, that track could still be bumping in clubs. So yeah, it's
and that is to this day, I don't think I've heard a better solo track from you. That's just I just think it's just right down your lane and it's just well executed. Not that your other songs aren't well executed, but they don't capture you as well. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're one of the artists that don't really necessarily go and put everything out there and rap about their lives. You're trying to make music, right? Whereas like
motivate, yeah.
That's great too, and that's that's a big part of the culture as well. But yeah, man, I definitely still think that that's your best solo track.
All right, I'll take that. I appreciate that. And like I said, I have a couple other tracks that I haven't even really played yet too tough, so like, you know, I might change your mind with that, but saying that, like, you know, I mean, I'm humbled and I'm grateful that we could actually do all the work that we've done and like it's able to be supported and we all support each other and what everybody's going on. I said you can't expect the same respect for like that I give to someone that I see every 10 days as, you know, someone that I see every 10 weeks.
And that's not even the case either. I think that you can't expect to just not be supporting us at all, and then just like I'll support you, and then as soon as I see that you stop supporting me, or if you just didn't from the jump, because I'll support people just even if they're not supporting me. I've done that several times to like a few people. I'm not even going to start naming names, but and they've just never showed love back and never, you know, gave me a share or played my shit, sent me a message and went, hey, you know, like I listened to this and gave me some sort of feedback. So I take note of all that stuff. All artists are taking note of all that shit.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it only goes both ways. Like after a while, because if I see you're not gonna show that love back, like what are you doing that I'm not? Why should I show you love and you can't show it back?
And that's the problem. That's a big thing out here. Everybody wants respect and they're not. Well, a lot of people, let me say, want respect they're not giving.
Let's talk about that, man.
There's a lot of people who expect you to bend over backwards to provide for them or to share their link or to do work for them. And when it comes to them sharing one of your links, your name's not there. They have groups where, you know what I mean? Like
I've gotten out to like several different people's shows. I've been there showing face in the crowd, showed love. Like everybody else was just standing back. I'll be front row to your shit and just showing you love.
Yeah.
And then when we had a show, where were you?
Yeah. Like my most recent show, I mean, I could say a couple people came through, but even then, like if you're gonna come through to bite my back, then you might as well stay at home. And that's basically what happened with a handful of people. So I just had to you know what I mean, move a different way. But
the Niagara music scene is terrible. It's like,
you know, it's come a ways.
There's talent, but as far as like the support system and
the support system needs
and
desperate
like
help.
Just the community as a whole.
And who people consider as like maybe the leader of like the community and like things of that nature, and like where you place people in rank and stuff like that.
I'd be like
it's
Nick
ridiculous.
Fury. I'd be like Nick Fury, and all the rest of y'all can pick whichever Avenger you want to be.
That's actually the problem with the Niagara scene is there's a lot of there's too many fucking people that think that they're on top, that they can be the leader of this shit.
Too many chiefs.
There's too many generals and a bunch of idiot fucking privates running around smacking their heads off each other.
I guess you don't want to use the chiefs and Indians thing, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, generals and soldiers.
It's
Yeah,
not even. But like, it's not even that there's too many chiefs. I disagree with that because
if you look at every leader of every faction as a chief in their own right.
Exactly. so that's fine. You can have a ton of chiefs running around, but when those chiefs think that they're chiefs of the chiefs, that's where you get the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Without any fucking
none of those people have any
credentials.
bend or ability to say that maybe like we're doing our thing, but this dude over in this camp is doing better than us.
Not none of them.
So why don't we?
No,
rally?
not none of them.
Not none. There's a couple.
Hold on.
There's a couple that definitely.
Hold on, we gotta pause for a second. I know it was getting good. I know.
We should go back talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
So Furbies.
Okay, so we're talking about too many chiefs.
Too many generals, not enough soldiers.
Not enough soldiers.
Jesus.
I could say, like, I don't mean it with any racial slur or context.
Nah, man. There's just
It's something I was gonna say, but I can't.
there's too many chiefs that think they're chiefs of everybody.
Yes.
And they don't have the credentials or like even the talent to even be there. Like, I mean,
just because you can build a fancy studio and charge idiots to use your fancy studio,
it's not even
doesn't
that.
mean
It
your
goes.
fancy
It
shit
goes.
produces the best.
It goes from that to people even just rapping in their bedroom. Like,
some of the best rappers in the area are dudes who just rap in their fucking bedrooms, though.
I know a couple of them.
Like, that's the thing. You have these factions where you get like 10 or 15 dudes who are fucking ass crack whack. They fucking convince each other that they're good, and they, as a group, will target like these other doper artists who can fucking body them lyrically any day. And they will, as a group, target them to the point where these artists are going, well, what the fuck's wrong with this region?
I can't really see what that says up there. But yeah, you're right. And that's, I mean, I was in a chat the other day, and I won't even mention the whose chat it is. But I was in a chat the other day, and I get notifications from the chats that I'm in, you know what I mean? And It's wise of anybody who has any aspirations or pursuits in productions to join chat rooms in order to further market themselves, etc. But I'm seeing these comments pass by, and I can't take kindly to these comments because they are towards people I have respect for. So I call attention to that situation, and I have a group of people then approaching me with their negative opinions.
That's
about
called
my conduct.
loyalty, and those group of people that approach you probably all talk shit about each other.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But yet
Actually, I've heard it.
they're quick to fucking.
Here's the weirdest fucking part, and I'm addressing. I hope you guys are fucking watching, because you guys have something wrong with your fucking heads. If you think that on a Friday night, for you to be talking about other people, namely us, is normal. But once we get alerted to you talking shit, we're in the wrong for telling you to go fuck yourself and to shut the fuck up? No. That's not how the real world fucking works.
I didn't think so.
If you want to fucking mention names, you better be ready for every fucking little bit of repercussion that comes. Every single bit. If I say I'm gonna be at your fucking door, unless you shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. If I say, if you, exactly, unless you want somebody at your fucking door. If I say don't fucking mention me, because I don't give a fuck about your existence, don't fucking mention me. Otherwise, I will make your existence and making it a pain in the ass my personal fucking priority. So y'all need to shut the fuck up. Be men. Go out, get pussy. Raise your kids. Some of y'all got kids you ain't raising. Go raise your fucking kids. Be real fucking men. Shut the fuck up.
Stop beating your baby mamas.
Yeah, and some of y'all really gotta stop beating your baby mama. What? I heard something about a fake leg. Some dude was beating his baby mama.
No, it wasn't a baby mama. It was just a girlfriend.
Okay, some dude was beating his girlfriend who has a fake fucking leg. How you gonna beat a crippled woman and consider yourself a man?
Wow.
Yep.
People who do that shit, you beat a cripple. You deserve to fucking drown. You beat a woman. Go fucking drown. You know who the fuck you are, and I'm sure you're gonna see this.
I don't
Go do the world a favor.
Here's the thing, though. I don't like what you're doing. Why the fuck am I watching what you're doing to complain about what you're doing if I don't like what you're doing?
Because it's a secret obsession, bro. It's a secret obsession. These little fucks, like I've always said, Niagara music is a fucking echo chamber, bro. It's 10, 15 dudes who all jack each other off saying their shit's dope. Then you get artists who actually get plays around the world, get noticed, get those numbers, walking in the room and saying, you need to shut the fuck up. I just bodied you. And they don't like that.
No.
But they're obsessed because they still
For
can't
example.
do that. They still, bro, the other day dude came at me about numbers. I just fucking laughed at him. How are you going to come at anybody in our group about numbers?
For example, if you
Oh, now you got me going off on a tangent and
Interp
shit.
is going off, bro.
For real though, like I'm getting sick of it, man. Y'all some
No, but
pathetic
hold
ass
on, hold on.
fucking pussies.
for example, the writer's block, right?
You went there.
This is where I was going with it.
Okay.
A positive thing.
Yes.
It really was a positive thing.
Yes.
However, when you do that and then you try and take what's the essence of it to something bigger when it essentially wasn't ready for that. It was a point where it was you held what, two or three of them things.
By the time you got in,
And then you know, like, there's a couple new people every time. You didn't establish it as a community first. Then you jumped into, well, you're either doing the ciphers or you're not welcome. Now, you got serious art. Now I know he's if he watched this or whatever, he's gonna say
serious artists depend. Like apparently, you're not a serious artist unless you're spending about $1,500 on marketing, videos, and advertising, and etc., production time, etc. But as you were saying, serious artists. The term serious artist differs based on who the artist is.
So what happens is these guys put on this event, and then at first it's great because everybody networks, and then you're saying you're putting everybody in an ultimatum situation, and when you do that, then
especially to a group of predominantly males.
It's not even about that. You know that egos are going to be there, so you got to pre-think of that.
Yeah,
but you're going to put
that with females. Oh my god, they'd scratch each other's eyes out.
You're still alive. Hi, Jenny.
You basically just pit everybody against one another at this point.
You made people choose sides.
Yeah.
So, and then everybody looks at it and goes, "Oh well, fuck Distinct," because they're the ones that are. Well, no. Firstly, predominant amount of us in Distinct chose not to do the ciphers. Why did we choose not to do the ciphers? A, the community wasn't built. So you're asking me for something from me or my team or whoever else it is, like anyone who thinks this way, when you've done nothing. You don't share my shit when it comes out. You don't support me. You're not ever fucking. You've never lent out a hand for anything to me. As besides creating a big group of MCs to come through. So I'm just piled in with all of them. But even some of them, you're sharing their shit. You're doing all that to them. And then you reach out to me, and now you want me to be on a cipher verse on your channel because you know it'll bring attention because of my following.
The relationship's never been healthy.
So what is that? So how is that fair?
That's where it started.
Where are we going with that?
I don't think it is. I gotta read some of these comments to see what these people are saying.
That right there is where, like, the shit that it's evolved to now. That is where it started, guaranteed. When none of us wanted to be on their shit.
But that's what I'm saying. So.
Tell me a lot, brother. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, man. That's why it failed, is because you jumped right into just basically giving people an ultimatum, and
with no.
And then
leverage.
it divided everything because you said either now you want to run it like a record label. Look at you now. Instead of just doing that from the beginning and giving all MCs a shot to fucking be a part of that, like, or is it just your ploy to make money? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? You got to pick one.
Make money. You went to business school and you found a bunch of artists.
Yeah, and some people saw through it, and that's why it failed. Because those certain people called it out.
I did the cipher, and I did the cipher, and the cipher was released, and the cipher was promoted once for me to see, and I promoted it a few times myself, but I didn't see the effort that they were talking about because they were saying, $50 a head.
I was gonna say, didn't you have to didn't you try to make it so people had to pay to do that shit?
Yeah, they made it so
how you gonna make somebody pay to do something for you?
Then I called them.
That's the community part breaking up, right? That's where it turns into somebody just trying to take.
You didn't pay, did you?
Lead and make money.
If you paid this man to drop on this man's beats, where he controls and owns the music now, and you paid him, you an idiot. That being said, I'm down to collabo anytime. Y'all can shoot me $50. I will share that shit. Hit it up.
His voice is killing me, man.
Distinct.
In the building. You're watching Candid Conversations as we expose the North. Oh my gosh. This is, the problem is now you have another outlet to express yourselves, and they're gonna see us, and they're gonna scroll, and they're gonna click, and then they're gonna listen, and then they're gonna hate, and then they're gonna repeat.
Hate and obsess all you want ain't gonna change fuck all. You're still not gonna be making the good music.
It's not even about that. I'm not even trying to attack nobody.
Some of them are really
I'm trying to. They are, but it's not even about that. It's about this is the facts. I'm coming at you with this is why this all turned out this way. This is the whole reason, is because it starts from the top and continues. You just say, oh, well, fuck Distinct, and because they start beef with everybody. Well, no, that's fucking definitely not how it ever has gone.
We work with people from all over the fucking world.
The last
We've
4
never
conflicts I've seen that have, like, if I may impart some of my observations, the last 4 conflicts I've seen Distinct involved in have been one person or another talking trash about Distinct, it being called to their attention, and them responding to the situation.
And because we don't...
The response is always taken out of like where like our response is instigating.
We will take it there. That's the thing.
They're not used to that.
No.
It's because we will take it there and then immediately it turns personal. Because,
fuck us? No, well, fuck you, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunt, your dead grandpa.
Your veterinarian.
your veterinarian, your goldfish, your cat, your favorite pet rock.
Shouts out to Dead Daughters. Go check that out on YouTube. Oh, wait, Jesus. No, you can't because he pulled it down.
Oh, wow.
Anyways.
Oh, that whack-ass track?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
You know what track's whack? When he pulls his own shit down.
Mm-hmm.
That's some embarrassment.
I would have said the same thing if I listened back to it. Like, it was really bad.
It was really... The other one wasn't any better, though.
He kept that one up, but he must have been... It was better.
Oh, the Crypt Keeper one?
Yeah. The funny thing is, I think everybody thought that I took that sample. That was me doing that.
Yeah, I thought for sure.
Everyone was like, and I think that's why.
He's like, yo, stop, man. What are you saying? Like, I didn't know you were like sample king like that. He's like, sample to what? It was like, yo, didn't you sample the voice from the Crypt Keeper? He's like, no, that was me. I'm like, no, the fuck it wasn't.
A few people said that. They were like, they just said, and that's why I think it was a hard.
I still remember I was in this studio when you sent me the finished copy, and I just sat down. Remember? Yeah. And I was just like, yo, bro, Pluto's a dead man.
Yeah.
And then the track dropped, and it was a dead man.
He lost, clearly, convincingly.
Did you put it up on streaming platforms?
No.
It's on YouTube. It's just on YouTube. Because I think he did that. So that's how I wanted to, like, keep it on his playing field.
Okay.
Is that he put it up on YouTube alone, and then just with, like, a picture. And then I responded. I was like, okay, I can do that
too. Did the same thing.
Yeah, I think I should have.
Because that's part of the rules and like
But that's the thing. It was a bit of showmanship involved. There's some jousting online. You know what I mean? You let it know. It's like a hockey fight. It's like, okay, it was a dirty hit. Okay,
it was, and I do respect him for not very much, but this is that's the one thing is that
respect him like
he did, take a swing, and he got knocked out, which is fine. Like, it's not a big deal.
So we go to speaking of this, I gotta take a tangent for a second. So we go to Ice Dogs game.
I don't know where I was going because I just had like a mental image of like people applauding the disabled kid when he finally tries to fight the bully.
So we talking about the Ice Dogs now.
Yeah, man.
That's quite the topic change.
Well, we said I said hockey fight. I didn't say hockey fight, and you ran with the analogy. So we're gonna bounce back on the tangent now. So I'm there with my daughter's school, and her teacher's there. No, her principal's there. And I'm trying to be this whole reserved, you know what I mean, not wild out. And I'm wilding out the whole fucking time, forgetting that they're even there in the stadium. So, yeah, you know what I mean, just cheer my face out. Fucking, so they call all the groups that are there and say, let's see who's going to be the loudest. So I heard them say, watch this, just before the school was called. And then the school was called, and I fucking lost my shit. So then shortly after that, no, a little bit before that though, there was a hockey fight, and I'm there, right? And our player got hit. So I'm like, yo! And then he hit him again, and then he turned back and he hit him, and he dropped him to his knees. I'm like, yeah! Keep him on his knees! And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I was like, so then, yo, bro, he kept throwing hands at the man, and tried to get up, and he just kept him on his knees. I'm just like, that's right! That's how we do it! You ain't coming up in our yard and doing that shit! Ice Dogs! Y'all gotta come to a game with me. It's fucking awesome. Okay, but
I could probably sit like sections away and still have a conversation with you.
Oh my gosh, bro! Listen, I don't think you understand. I will talk to someone across the ball. Yo, no, fuck. When I went to
What up?
When I went to SmackDown Live in August, one of the guys I met from like Toronto, like 2017, at one of their another WWE.
This wasn't the
event.
King Booker guy, was it?
Yeah, the dude who called me King Booker. So we go, like, he's there at SmackDown Live, and I'm there too, and there's this guy sitting behind me, and he has the Universal title. So I'm just like, I'm talking to my dude on the phone, I'm just like, yo, where are you? He's like, I don't know, like, stand up, wait. I'm like, I'm waving right now, so dude gives me the title. He's like, yo, wave this. And I just hold up the title, and I, like, all of a sudden people started looking at me from all over. A couple people took a fucking picture and shit. And he's like, oh shit, there you are. I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, what up? I'm like, my dude. He's like, King Booker. It was fucking great, man. Like, I'm electric when I go out in the crowds. Like, I love going to an arena. Anytime, like, if you, don't even get me started. I already got seasons passes to the River Lions games. So, like,
what's up?
I'm inviting both of y'all to a game
Definitely.
on one of the days that we can make it happen. And, yeah, it's going to be live. Fuck, I shot from half court on one of those games. Missed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hit the rim. I was the
You hit the rim.
closest shot all season.
Yeah.
I hit the rim, bro. I was like, oh.
That's something.
2 inches to
What
the
was
left.
it? No, it was only $1,000.
$1,000.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's robbery.
It is. It is. The magnets didn't work in my favor.
Yeah. That's what they did purposely.
You know what I mean? They're like, no, that's too close. Hit them with the north. Speaking of the north,
The north.
right about now, the Knickerbockers are facing the Raptors.
RJ Barrett,
Yeah.
Canadian player.
Team Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And he sounds like a proud Canadian about to represent his country.
Yeah, man. RJ Barrett, was he 3rd pick in the draft?
Yes.
Crazy. Yeah, man.
I don't really
On
watch
my
basketball,
Knicks, who are terrible, but
Hey,
it is what it is.
hey, you got a key player. You never know what he can do to pull them around.
Absolutely.
So, you know, he might hang around for a bit, create one hell of a killer season, win a championship, and then just give that city the biggest middle finger ever and walk away.
How is it a middle finger?
Kawhi
Here's
Leonard.
what you asked of me.
Shouts
This
out
is
to
what
Kawhi.
I can provide.
No. But here's the thing. Then they follow that up with, "Can you please stay?" And he said, "It's cold here in the winter."
Pretty much. That's facts.
And he done walked the fuck away.
I'm looking for every advantageous situation for my family as well. So I can't say that I'm going to disposition myself to benefit somebody else. It just doesn't work like that in life anymore. You know what I mean? The karmic shift isn't as reciprocal as it used to be. And apparently, let me put this out there. If you use big words, you're trying to express some degree of intellect that you might not possess.
What if you just talk like that?
I'm saying this out of respect to everybody.
Yeah, that's
who's
not always
flopped,
the case.
To
That's not
everybody
always the
who's
case.
flopped on invitations to express themselves and further promote themselves. Let us know when we'd like to have a debate or exchange, because I'd rather be on the same page than have to disintegrate anybody's existence on stage.
Like, I know what you're talking about, because I saw that too.
Block, you lose me
like-
sometimes when you try to rhyme everything, because it's just like...
Me and you have had lots of conversations.
I have a bad habit
And
of doing that.
me and you are generally, like, we're like kind of assholes when it comes to just using unnecessarily big words in conversations, just because that's our vernacular.
Capacity, for those of you who don't understand that word.
That's how we speak, is with intelligence behind our thought. But anyway,
I like the way you phrased that, yes, indeed.
so like we're careful about the words that we use, but we use them correctly.
Yes.
Now I do understand the point when it comes to some rappers out there.
Yeah.
They literally just rhyme any big word with any big word, and the bars really don't connect. They're reaching. And Eminem was bad for that at the beginning of his career.
There have been people,
But he was funny with it, so it worked.
There have been people who have rhymed spectacularly with vernacular, not knowing what vernacular is, hoping that it was actually a word. And now we're just like, oh, really? That's what it meant? But anyways, continue.
But like, so I do get where he's going. But then there are some artists out there that like they're just naturally really intelligent.
I'd like to fall into that latter category.
And that's gonna lead to
Not many.
more
around here.
comprehensive wordplay, a more elaborate vernacular.
I had to break it down one time. I said, I have this line where I say, you suspect or act too fruity, you can go. That's a basic line
Yes.
with multiple meanings.
I could see a few meanings in there.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's just one line. And then, like, so for me to exacerbate my psychology, to express situations so colorfully in a manner that would actually break it down for some...
Like, and you know what's fucked? And I'll be completely honest. Over the last probably 5 or 6 months, I think I've been making some of the best, like, solos and tracks that I've made in a long ass time.
Yes, you have. I've seen some impressive work.
That has come with, honestly, dumbing down my lyricism.
Yes, I understand that. That is
which is weird.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I look back at my old shit, and I'm very multi-heavy. I'm very, like, I'm like reading a fucking encyclopedia, basically.
I have this song called Closer, this song called Push, where I am just, like, I'm literally exacerbating my vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I listen to some of the stuff I have, like, some of the stuff I do now, and it is more basic, it's more generic, but it's still, it's a bit more fluid, and it's a bit more consistent.
Yeah, so you just gotta understand, like...
Understand when to use what
Understand when to use what where. Like, I used the term... I called myself a reprobate in a fucking track. Do you know what a reprobate is? I do. Do you know it? No, you probably don't.
Doesn't sound like a good thing at all.
No, it's not. It's basically I'm a...
Is that like a
career piece
Cenobite?
of shit. Like, I was...
Hey, Terp, is that like a Cenobite?
Recidivism. You know what recidivism is?
Yeah.
When you return in and out.
Back to jail.
A reprobate is...
Cenobite.
No. A reprobate is somebody
Terp,
who...
is that like a Cenobite? He doesn't even get the reference.
Sorry, I was... And for those who don't understand what the word recidivist is, just Google it.
For those that don't know what a Cenobite is, it's from Hellraiser. Continue.
I thought you were talking about those Cenobites at Pizza Hut.
I was gonna say, this motherfucker got me thinking about cinnamon and fucking bread here.
Those pizza bites, those cinnamon
motherfuckers.
they're fucking delicious.
It's not Cinnabon.
Nah.
Cenobites.
Oh, shit.
Movie
My bad.
reference, okay.
Never mind. Terp claims to be a horror fan, but...
You know what? I am a huge horror fan, but I was never the biggest fan of the Hellraiser movies.
The epitome of creepy, really.
No, don't get me wrong. When it comes to, like, gore and some of the deaths are fucking fantastic.
They took
But
it...
the plot line I
different...
could never get into. I was never a huge fan of that, like, supernatural style horror.
But it was the first of that kind.
Yeah,
that's why
but
it makes it...
I'm
as
always a
opposed
fan
to, like,
of,
Alien,
like
which was before. But
Alien
still.
I wasn't really a fan of either.
I didn't like Alien.
I'm a fan of, like, something right there in front of you that's got a big-ass knife and is gonna slit your fucking throat. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I'm a huge horror slasher fan, although I fucking absolutely love the Saw series. And they're not really slasher,
That's just gore.
They're
that's
just
psychological. That's a psychological... That's a mind fuck.
I call that like a psychological thriller. Almost.
Yes, yeah, I was about to say that.
But like, you know, the Friday the 13th, fucking Halloween.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, that's the next time you can catch me performing. December 13th at Lux Nightclub in Welland.
Even I like kind of like the Child's Play movies, but that's just because I think it's fucking awesome to think of a little doll slashing people.
Those ones got me.
I like the new one. I don't know, like, a couple of the deaths were corny, but it's well done. I was, like, going into it, not really giving it a chance.
The Leprechaun. What do you think of the Leprechaun movies?
Did you see the remake? There's a remake of a a new one.
They remade Leprechaun?
With, I saw it at Walmart, I think, the other day.
I have not seen the remake of Leprechaun, but holy fuck if I do not want to go hunting for that.
It's like new. It's new, so it's like in the new movie section. Like, not like new releases, new, but...
Okay.
I'm watching that.
Okay.
I will be watching that. Because I think the first two Leprechaun movies are fucking
Walmart.
Awesome. I mean, they got a little weird at the end. But
yeah, absolutely, but...
I will never forget the scene where dude's fucking cranking it in the hotel room. And then the chick that fucking he's like watching on the TV fucking like comes out of the TV.
Oh, shit.
And fucking murks him. Oh, bro.
I don't think I saw that one.
Epic scene.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the new Child's Play, they do like a modern twist on it. Like it basically, like it's like a smart doll, essentially.
Okay. All right.
So it's like an Alexa or like a Google Home.
Oh. Okay.
So it like can turn your TV on and shit. It's a good twist.
Speaking of twist, have any of y'all seen that different kind of movie here? Have any of y'all seen that new Jumanji?
I seen the fucking the first Jumanji,
Like the one with The Rock.
Yeah, I seen the first one.
Okay, have you seen it?
The second one's coming out just
Yeah.
now.
Okay. How pissed were you when they evolved it from the board game to a fucking video game cartridge?
Not entirely.
Really?
Not entirely.
Not at all.
I thought that was the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
Really?
Yes.
Like the broken, like
The fact that they turned it into a video game.
Nobody plays board games anymore.
Bro, that's where you bring the plot in. You put these kids up at a fucking cabin on a rainy fucking day with their fucking family.
And they're
or some
still
shit.
not going to be playing that shit in 2019.
Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
My kids play board games, bro. So I can prove to you that people play board games because my kids do.
Ridiculous. Next.
No, they should have had them find it at some little cabin in the fucking woods while up fucking north with their fucking family or some shit. Power goes out, get
Ridiculous.
bored. Yo, check out this old ass game. Mom and dad are sleeping. Boom, boom. There you go. Jumanji. Instead, they turned it into a fucking video game.
a broken video game.
Yeah, like, really.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I
and,
don't know.
and how does, how these mother... Just no.
Okay, so compared to the Ghostbusters franchise, the latest Ghostbusters movie. They're coming out with the I want to call it the redemption movie, but I didn't entirely have a problem with the all-female cast once I saw how they got tied into it. You know what I mean? But
I haven't seen it all the way through yet.
you haven't seen it all the way through? Okay.
I keep falling asleep.
Gotta watch it when you're awake then, brah.
I smoke a lot of weed, bro.
I don't blame you, brah.
It's one hell of a weed nap every time I put that movie on. I'm just saying. And I might be biased though because I'm like one of the world's biggest original Ghostbusters fans. Like I think
Ghostbusters
that the
is
original
overrated.
Ghostbusters-
There, I said it.
This
Somebody-
motherfucker.
Somebody had to say it.
But who you gonna call?
Not them.
What do you mean, bro? We've been calling them since 1980.
I'm calling the Ninja Turtles before them.
This motherfucker just called a Bill Murray movie over me.
I'm
What's next?
calling the Ninja Turtles before I call them.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Really?
There we go.
Really? You would call the Ninja Turtles to fight some demonic fucking
Now
being
Terp's
from the
all on his own. Now he's getting real
1400s
defensive.
Fucking living in a fucking painting.
Now
bringing
he's
shit back to
really
life.
defensive.
They got
See those
Splinter.
gargoyle fucking dog things?
They got-
Boom! Raphael's head gone.
Donatello.
I would pick the
What,
gargoyles
you hit him with a
before
stick?
Goose.
You gonna hit
Ghostbusters
that
too.
statue
No,
dog
he's gonna fucking-
with a stick?
he's gonna
Terp,
fucking
you're right.
figure
I
out a
would
way to
pick the
kill him.
gargoyles ahead of Ghostbusters as well. Keep going.
I said those gargoyle animals.
Gargoyles are fucking dope. Like you get that on what's it called now?
What
I'm
else?
still gonna call Ghostbusters. I don't give a
Disney Plus.
fuck.
Yeah, see? Nobody else is calling them. You're
Everybody,
their only
New
business.
York called them, and New York survived.
That was before
I'm just saying.
the Ninja Turtles.
I'm just saying.
They would have called the Ninja
Took like
Turtles.
20 motherfucking years for the Ninja Turtles to kill one goddamn ninja.
The
Some dude with a
Ghostbusters
metal
can o-
face.
The Ghostbusters
20
can only
fucking
kill.
years.
What are the
See,
Ghostbusters going to do
You
against?
go call the
what
Ninja
is it?
Turtles, and by the time you're
Raza?
65, your problem's gonna be
Ra's
solved.
al Ghul? No.
No. What was it? In the movie, they named him something else.
Slimer?
No. In the Ninja Turtles,
Oh, and the Ninja Turtles?
the what was it? A fox? And the snapping
You're
turtle.
talking about Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah, but it wasn't. They didn't name them that.
No, they named them something else, but that's basically what they were.
I know that's what they were, but what were they?
Retarded?
Their name them.
Legitimately, like, mentally disabled?
Man, they
It was one
called
of the
them
worst
something
bad
else.
guys ever.
I don't even know.
The
I
one
never
just
really-
drooled.
Secret of the Ooze?
Secret of the Ooze.
Wow.
I think I have that on DVD actually.
It's fire.
I have that on DVD.
Bad guys were not even there.
If you don't have it on DVD, you're fucked. Period.
You're just a fan of
Or
it because
V8.
Vanilla Ice did his dance number.
I like,
Ninja,
honestly,
go Ninja, go.
no, you know
Go
what? You know
Ninja,
what I
go
like
Ninja.
about it?
What?
Is that Kevin Nash is the super shredder. That's what I like about
Oh,
it.
shit,
Let's talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Kevin Nash, really?
That's
Kevin
a
Nash,
fact.
Big Daddy Cool.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
Oh, let's change my whole opinion on a movie because
It's
a
a wrestler.
wrestler
character.
was in it.
It's a wrestler. He kind of, almost.
Bro, have you ever seen any of
You
John
see
Cena's
those titles
movies?
over there?
You seen
Diesel?
any of John Cena's movies?
A couple of them.
So bad.
How you gonna have Diesel play Super Shredder and it's not dope? Because I was Diesel at that time.
I don't know. They could have had Kane. That was better.
Who, Isaac Yankem?
Yes. Did you know what? Did you know that that Kane was originally Isaac Yankem? That's
Yes,
fucked.
I knew
Yeah.
that.
That's fucked.
It's so fucked.
Did you know that Kane was also Isaac Yankem was also the fake Diesel?
Yeah, I knew that.
And who was it? Who was Razor? The fake Razor was somebody too.
Oh, man.
I think he was just like a jobber. He didn't last very long.
Nah.
Wrestling. Gotta love it.
Back in the day, it was good.
The Attitude Era was fire.
Yo,
Before
honestly,
that, though.
you might want to tune into some NXT. That's on tonight at 8 p.m. on USA. That's probably on right now. Shit.
Wait, if
All
they're
my
not
favorite
cut-
wrestlers would be like.
hold
retired
on,
by
if
now.
they're not cutting me a check, I cannot promote their show tonight. So don't watch that. Take it from StottyP.
Do not fucking turn your TV to that channel.
If
I
you-
will personally be at your door.
You're personally disappointing me if you watch that. Because they didn't cut me a check.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that check. you
Is
know what I mean?
Stone Cold still a thing?
He has a podcast.
How's that working out for you, Block, that you're waiting for that check still?
Is Shawn Michaels still a thing?
He just came in with Triple H and the Road Dogg leading the. They just basically did an NXT takeover of Raw and SmackDown.
Did they are they using walkers, bro?
No,
Using the
man.
Road Dogg?
Road Dogg, yeah,
Like-
man. Jesse, like, yeah,
The
he's
Road
still,
Dogg Jesse James with his fucking weird ass hair?
he's cut the hair now. He's got the beard though, but he's like, he still did the dish.
He gotta be damn near 60.
Yeah, 40, in the late 40s, early 50s, yeah.
So if y'all want to watch some geriatrics fight,
But they just
check
brought
out wrestling.
Nah. They led the new generation of like wrestlers into the
Fuck
WWE.
around, bust a hip.
Nah, bro. They.
Shawn Michaels gonna sweet chin music
he's
himself
still,
one
yo,
day.
what do you mean? He's fuck. He still dropped that sweet chin music like it was back in the day.
He gonna go to kick, the hip just gonna snap. He gonna catch his own face.
No, it's nothing like that. Listen, Sean, don't listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about.
I hope Sean's not watching.
Could you imagine?
Because y'all didn't cut us a check.
Y'all need to
Hey,
like,
don't get me wrong. Shawn Michaels was like my favorite wrestler back in the day. But
Yo.
nowadays, I'm sure that he would. No.
Nah, bro. He's still
Which is weird.
traded. They're still traded wrestlers.
You want proof that it's fake? 50-year-olds are doing it.
They just rolled like 40. They just rolled like 30 to 50 deep into the show and just wrecked shit.
Was
Like
there
they
a-
won.
Was
okay,
there a
Survivor
question that
Series.
it wasn't fake?
Some people
It's
used to
not
think it was
fake. It's choreographed. There's a significant difference in something that's structured in a choreographed manner and scripted than there is to something that's fake. You
Well, it's-
go and
when-
jump. You jump 15 feet from anything, motherfucker, and tell me that your landing is
Go,
real,
go when
fake.
you go to this Christmas. I don't know if you and your wife go and watch shit and go watch the Nutcracker or something.
Hold on, wait.
Is that fake or did those mice really dance? And does that Nutcracker really come alive, or is that fake?
But no, if you're saying
That's
that...
a completely different
choreographed.
concept.
Wait a minute,
It's
wait a minute.
choreographed dance. Wrestling is choreographed dance.
Let me say
It's
it
a duo.
from...
I just said it was choreographed. I don't want to go
Dance.
so far as to say it's dance. It's more a little bit combat sports. But
Choreograph is to what? Is to do something in a certain sequence. Right?
Technically, everything's
Yeah.
choreographed. The movies you watch are choreographed.
So, which also...
that's not the point we're arguing. In fact, you're arguing my point.
No, I'm saying it's fake.
But to say that they're going to fight each other and they know who the winner is, that's doing something in a certain manner, which is the exact same definition that we just said with choreograph.
So
It's
choreographed.
fake.
It's choreographed and fake at the same time,
No, this is
It's both.
choreographed. If you know what's going to happen at the end of it, you're choreographing it.
which is also not real. It's not a real
So
fight.
when you watch something on TV, you're supposed to suspend your disbelief, except for the news and the sports, and even with
Well,
sports,
no,
that shit's
because
rigged.
sports are not
Yes,
supposed to
sports
be.
are
Did
rigged.
you know that's why?
They're not.
And that's where they get away with it because they don't call themselves a sport. They call themselves sports entertainment.
Exactly.
No, but
tell me how that's like a con in the name.
yeah, and it's not a sport. It's not. Are they
Yeah,
athletic?
UFC?
Are they athletic?
Yes, they are.
But
they
it's not a
exerting
sport.
Physical force? Are they exerting physical force?
Dude, half the time when they're punching people, they get that noise by smacking themselves.
Or stomping on the ground. Yeah, but is it still exerting a physical force?
Are they pushing wind at somebody? Yes. It's dance.
I wouldn't call it dance.
Are they wearing tights?
It's not dance either.
But at the same time,
Is there music? Sometimes there's music.
No, they don't.
Is there a theme
They
song?
don't fight to music. Okay, now you're reaching. Anyways.
Do they ever fight during these theme songs?
Oh my God, you're reaching further than you can stretch.
Bro, I'm gonna take wrestling videos. I'm gonna put them to dance music, and it's gonna make so much sense. I'm gonna post that shit. It's gonna get millions of views.
You do that, or find something a little bit more productive with life, and need to work on that.
Shots fired.
But if it gets me millions of views, that's a lot of money.
It's actually not a lot of money,
and you can't take someone else's footage and.
Didn't we just go over the amount of money that you make off a million views?
Keep reaching.
If it's public domain, you can use it.
If it's public domain.
So which means that they put it out.
WWE is not public domain. WWE
Would you say it was 4 or 7 grand off a million views?
10 grand.
10 grand off a million views.
Yeah.
So you gotta put out.
No, I think it's less than that
Is it
now.
less than that?
It's less than that now. So.
Oh, I don't care. I'll sell that ad space.
So you're gonna be rich. So you're gonna be rich off a million views. What are you gonna do with 7 grand, bro? Go buy a new car and then you're broke?
Invest that shit.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. What would be a good investment though?
So even
Let's
though
talk
you,
about it.
so Terp, even though you're in the market
What-
for a new vehicle,
Hold on.
you wouldn't go take that money and buy a new vehicle.
Oh,
You would invest it.
I just want to know what a good investment is.
For maybe a little bit, but I would invest most of it.
For maybe
if you
a
ever
little
handed me a
bit.
chunk of money, I would invest the majority of it.
Here
Would
we
it be
go.
The longest running weekly episodic broadcast show of all time. Would you invest in that? Does that sound like something you'd invest in? Just out of curiosity, if you were going to win fast, like time or energy or anything. You know what I mean? Just
This motherfucker. Like, yo, I know you ain't got the money, but if you had the money, you gotta put the money. Oh, yeah, you got this idea.
I just want to know, like, because you never know if you could, like, you never know when you could get the money.
I
Right?
would
I
honestly-
believe that you could get the money.
I would buy a chip truck.
A chip truck. Okay. You'd have to have some bomb ass food. Oh yeah, you used to be a chef.
I used to
forgot,
fucking
yeah.
chef it. Bro, I got number
Yeah.
2 in Niagara for my burger and number 3 for poutine.
Okay.
And we've never tried these things
ever
somehow.
When I worked
made
at
me
the
a
fucking
poutine
chip truck
before,
on
like,
120.
Somehow
I'm
we've just
sitting
never
here like,
tried it.
Bro,
and he knows I like poutine.
You
It's
never-
not like
you
it's
never
a
came
secret.
by
And I love burgers, so it's like, but
Well,
I've never had a homemade
pretty-
burger from Terp.
I'm pretty sure that
Been to a lot of barbecues of Terp,
all the time,
but
Turbo
never had a
barbecues.
homemade burger
pretty-
from him.
ever.
I'm pretty sure you came when I worked at the chip truck.
No, I don't think I did.
When I went 20 there.
I know for a fact I did not. So what's your excuse there? I just, I like food.
But we've been to how
My
many
excuse
barbecues?
there is I didn't know you then.
How many barbecues we've been to of yours, though,
Good
Terp?
answer. Good answer.
I don't.
You're not proud of that? You're not proud of the number 2 burger?
No.
So you're just like,
Do it anymore.
you know what? Frozen's way better.
Facts. I'm busy.
So
Busy. I would bring
Frozen
you a
is
pound of
better,
fucking
is what you're
beef.
saying. If Frozen's better than your
Go.
burger, then I don't really want to taste the rest of your food.
Oh man.
All right, one of these days I'll make you guys some homemade fucking burgers.
Attaboy. There we go. We're going to hold him to it because it happened here on Candid Conversations Live.
We're gonna tune in at that very moment when Terp's making the.
It's
fucking-
gonna be a while. I'm not just letting you know.
It's all good. It's all good. We got time. We ain't going nowhere. Well, we go
Bi-weekly
places, but-
burgers.
When I get that,
Because Terp's gonna make them every other week.
$7 grand to buy that chip truck,
Oh man.
you guys can have my first burgers.
Yeah.
Duly noted. And you heard it here on Candid Conversations.
No, that's probably what I would buy.
Okay.
Take my money, take like $5 grand, buy a chip truck.
That's a very plausible.
You're confident
logical
enough that
idea.
you would quit your job and
You
just
wouldn't
run
have
a.
to
And
Why would you have to quit your job? You hire somebody to fucking cook.
Park it beside your.
Park it beside my
Park
job.
it beside your workplace.
No, just throw it behind my work van.
Oh, make
Like,
a
what do you
breakfast-
want? Like, I'll jump back there. 15 minutes.
Make breakfast, make
But
dinner.
doesn't
You're
that-
laughing.
Is that not defeating the purpose of you having it if you're not going to work it?
I'd probably
Because you would
quit my job.
maximize your profits if you
Honestly,
were the one working.
Honestly, if I had a chip truck in my name, I would probably quit any other facet of work I had and just sit there and cook food.
We're gonna hold it to you.
You
You heard it. You heard it here
I would
first.
probably gain like 400
Candid
pounds. 'Cause
Conversations.
fuck, I would own the poutine I could eat.
Oh man, yeah.
So I would literally just like, oh, the poutine I would make, bro. I would make so many different kinds of poutines.
I'm looking at this thing right here, just like no, not right now.
You'd be 300 pounds, Turp.
Oh, I would. I would fucking give Smokes a run for their money. I'd sell poutines that are just massive, bro.
This family size.
'Cause I can tell
That
you,
big?
I
Like
can-
it's gonna be that big.
I can
That's
tell
a
you.
little
I
much,
can tell you
bro.
right now. I can tell you right now.
Are we
when
for
you
real?
guys-
It's gonna be this big, y'all.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't care.
How
I'm
much?
family size.
How
you
much
just
is
got
it gonna
bigger
cost?
like you were doing a Kamehameha.
How much is that gonna cost?
He's just doing a Kamehameha.
What do I gotta pay for $10 for this?
Boom.
No.
Somebody's going out of business.
Yo, what do you mean? $10?
Yo, what are you talking about, bro?
$10 can buy 2 bags of fries.
An
eh?
order-
2
an
bags
or-
of potatoes.
Bro, an order of
You know how
French
expensive
fries,
cheese is?
An order of French
How
fries.
much cheese you would need to fucking
You're
stick
right.
all that poutine
You're
together?
Right. You're right.
Dude.
Gravy ain't free.
Bro,
You're right. You're right.
you can buy cheese curd in mass, those bags for like a bag like this for like $10. If you're buying 50 of those
Damn.
bags.
Damn, yo.
You can buy them a bag like this for $10.
That's dope.
That's what I used to do. I used to do those orders and shit.
Okay.
A fucking poutine, like a massive poutine, probably cost the people making it like 30 cents.
Listen, man, don't Kamehameha my camera, bro. You know what I mean?
I don't even know if I did it right.
That would be fucking. Honestly, I should find a video editor that can make that look possible. Just change. Oh, that would be so dope. Oh my goodness. Oh
I
man.
spent the whole episode just charging up.
Yeah. Then at the end, and good night.
That's some shit I don't even really know what he's talking about, but it sounds fun.
It's anime, bro. It's some fun shit for real.
Yeah, I think I've watched a total of like 2 episodes of something anime in my entire life.
Dragon Ball Z was the show.
I never watched that shit.
Overrated.
Oh my gosh, what are you saying?
All I could think.
And I'm glad you said that, though, please, because what is with all these rappers, like, just using Dragon Ball Z? Like, fucking 90% of Niagara is, like, rapping Dragon Ball Z bars. It's like,
I did say something about
why?
what you're saying. I guess it influenced a good percentage of the culture for a long period of time.
the
bro.
culture?
The,
The culture around here,
inspired
maybe.
by Dragon Ball Z.
Because I'm pretty sure actually any hip hop that I grew up listening to and
And that's
was
been influenced by wrestling too.
The most you ever heard of back in the day was fucking Biggie mentioning Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
yeah,
Chocolate,
man. What is this
like,
everything is.
Did you say
You got
Japan?
you're doing videos with Goku
No,
up
it was
close.
chocolate.
It's like a toy. It's like, what do we?
Yeah, like it's weird. It's weird. It's
Why is it so like? I don't get it.
that is proof that the game is changing,
It's
For the worst,
and it's for the worse.
man.
It's
We're
soft.
basing
It's
we're
soft.
basing hip hop culture off of an anime cartoon about fucking ninjas fighting. What does that have to do with hip hop?
lyrical
Absolutely nothing.
combat.
Absolutely nothing. It's not even
metaphorically,
self-expression.
Analog.
It's not.
You're not
Verbal
you're not
combat.
even self-expressing yourself.
That's redundant.
You're not.
Flock's taking offense to this conversation right now.
Just a smidge, only because of the fact that I have lyrics that contain the same content that we're disputing at this juncture.
Yeah, but isn't that the point?
And
of
you
these,
got
of these
dudes
shows,
with full
is to have these conversations?
mixtapes about fucking Dragon Ball Z, though.
That's how they. That's what they spent their time watching. Maybe that's.
Then
just,
I don't know what to say, but then don't. I
It
don't
has
know.
no place in hip hop.
But like people will spit those bars and then right afterwards be like, "I'm so street and gangster," and you're like, "No, you weren't, because you were watching Pokemon." Like, how could you be in the streets if you
I
had all
dare a
this time watching
motherfucker to
TV
call
shows?
me on playing Pokemon. Go ahead.
You play Pokemon.
There you go.
This motherfucker plays Pokemon.
Original.
You know, he walks around with his phone and fucking catches them in the park.
Not as often as I probably could, but yeah.
Oh, he's starting to wean himself off. He got done at letting the companies track his every move like that.
Oh no, I want them to know where I'm at. How the fuck am I supposed to get the money out their pockets?
Okay.
Okay.
He's taking so much offense to this conversation right now.
We're
guy using his phone, which
Oh.
he's paying into monthly, to play a game that they created in which he had to download.
In order for them to further establish
You're getting
some
their
structure
money?
in our infrastructure, in order for them to improve our infrastructure,
You're
yeah.
getting their money?
Yeah, buddy.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
buddy.
talk about it. That game
The
is
society I
nothing
live
for
in.
society.
You're not
the
getting
society
their
I live
money.
in- Oh, what
Wasn't
do you
it
mean?
I hate to
proven
tell
that
In
you,
the
the
Block.
last 7
connected?
years that I've lived here, the amount
I
of
hate
money
to
they
tell
had
you,
to
Block.
put within the square radius of my property,
But that's not because of Pokemon Go.
it's not because of Pokemon Go, it's because of the Terrell effect, which you can find on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Anyways,
It's not
But
because
back
of
to the
Pokemon
fact
No.
that
Because of the
Pokemon
improvement.
is definitely getting your money and you're not getting Pokemon's money.
how are they getting my money?
Go. They would technically
Because
probably-
you're paying into a
every
phone
bit of
bill.
data- Hold on.
That-
But I was paying into the phone bill anyways without Pokemon.
But here's the thing.
but you're using
Every
your
bit
data.
of data that is connected to
data.
them, their
But I'm
company
using
would
it anyways.
somehow have figured out a way that they're going to get some small percentage of every bit of data that is connected to their game.
Facts.
So,
Okay, so
so that's money that you're paying to them.
how am I paying them?
Because you're
'Cause
paying,
you're
for
the
data.
data. You may have used it anyway, but you might have used it on something more productive.
Candid conversations, everybody.
Who says I can't do both?
Well,
Well, I don't know your current data plan, but either way, if
Ah.
hold on. But here's the thing: if your data plan costs you $50 a month, maybe 3 cents of that every month is going to Pokemon Go.
That's fine, and a percentage of what Pokemon Go is making off of getting that data from my phone company has to go back to my phone company in order for them to get that data. And they are responsible for improving the state of the infrastructure that carries the
no,
signal
because
to
they're
my
already
device.
getting that return
then-
and some
No,
from
they're
something
responsible-
else.
They're responsible for improving and
He doesn't get
maintaining the service, the system by which I receive the service. Which means
Block,
that the
they're-
towers in the city that are providing the service and the areas around the towers
They're getting that money
have to
from
be
you.
maintained. Yeah, but I'm getting that money from them. If
They
you,
would do
you
that
can see
anyway.
one side of the coin, I see both.
They would do that.
You can
anyway.
see one side of the coin, but
They
I
would.
still see both.
Here's the thing: they have to do that anyway, whether or not you play Pokemon. You
So
use your money
it
to
balances
download.
out.
You could use that 3 cents worth of data to download 3 beats that you kill that month instead of,
Or I could make
Kills
3 beats
monsters.
myself.
or you could download 3 beats because you heard 3 beats you want to download. And you're
Speaking
like,
of 3 boots, Adam and me is having a beat sale this week.
yeah, we gotta jump on that.
Yeah, 10 o'clock tomorrow is when I get the link to the beat package. So that's gonna be something. 130 beats for a stupid price.
I still got so many. Like I'm not even. I just have so many.
I've given out some, but I've recorded on some. But I want to get some more because I think you started buying them before I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the only year I'm not doing it because I just feel like. And I saw some shit online that it's a lot of samples. So it's like, and I also saw a bunch of shit that if an artist puts up a beat to that song that you use the beat, you can be red flagged for your shit on YouTube.
Guess we got
So
to
he-
work quick.
So he's fucking over a lot of artists by doing that.
Mm.
So you're better off just getting a free beat sometimes, as if it's unless it's like, because there's a chance that a song does well or the artist believes in it enough to monetize it and is in that position. Then your shit, any shit you put up on that beat will be red flagged and pulled off. So.
Any other bubbles you want to pop while you're down here?
That'd be a harder fight on the like the Spotify's and shit. Maybe YouTube.
Yeah, but YouTube is like a huge platform.
YouTube's the first one. The first one that's posted. It's the first one with the rights to it. Unless you have the rights to it before it was posted. Yeah. I just realized how many fucking instruments I have.
You stoned there, Block?
Just a little.
You wanna light up that other blunt?
Not yet, but soon. Oh man, well, we are on Candid Conversations. That much I know, jerk. And we have 5 podcasts every week, starting with Candid Conversations on Wednesdays at, well, depending on what time. This is prime time Candid Conversations because we got StottyP and Interp here. Then we have Hardline on Fridays with Interp and the Block. One of these days we'll get Stott out because he is also a pioneer of the Let's Beef website. Let'sBeef.com. Stop bitching, start beefing. And what that really means is instead of complaining about your issues, take a course of action that will resolve your discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
We just street like that. I can't even say I'm street. I'm more like sidewalk. I might even be grass. Who knows? Fuck.
Hold on. Hold on a second.
Yeah. But, watch. Hold on.
Whoa.
Lean back. Okay.
See, y'all got me shoved in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Can I move?
Not yet. It's still on the corner.
How is this shit just...
Terp, would you stop making such a ruckus?
Is it because you lean?
Spilling beers.
Turn. There you go.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Fucking spilling beers.
I didn't spill nothing.
I didn't. Don't look at me.
I was going to say, why the fuck you saying I spilled something?
You were closest to the spill, though, to be fair.
I was closest to the spill because I was
So-
sitting in a chair near the spill. So.
Yeah, so, like, if anyone had anything to do with it,
Maybe it was the guy who spilled it.
out of me and you, though, we'd have to pick you.
The proximity effect.
Yeah, like, no
What
offense,
kind
Terp.
of logic is that?
Oh, man. But
Like,
yeah.
I'm the least to do
I
with
need
that
to-
in this situation, and you are definitely second.
Okay, just gotta, like...
Man, Terp, you gotta relax.
Just gotta slide it back a bit.
Holy, too much poutine. That's the problem.
This fucking guy.
Like, see,
But
he
yeah.
wants to do something like this. Something like this. And then that's what happens. You're knocking over keyboards and shit.
Oh, man.
This motherfucker.
So we got the Terrell Effect on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Sometimes a little later based on, who showed up and when. And then we have Tough Talks with Tilly on the Block on Sundays through Tuesdays. One of those days because, schedules change and shit. And then we have Daddy Daughter Time on Monday. Yeah. So that's all 5 of the podcast. Tune in any one of those times. I'd say on Monday's my most vulnerable moment because I never know what she's going to say. This is like, I sit there like...
Just start... I'm going to talk to Jenny. Just start coaching her to say some fucked up shit.
Never.
So, Dad, how do you feel about the capitalistic overlords that you're forced to live under? Bob just... What do you want for lunch today for school, honey?
Gotta answer it. No, you gotta answer it.
Answer the question. I'm not forced
No
to live
question
under anybody.
goes
And all of these
unanswered.
people have to answer to me in some way, shape, or form based on their parent position above me. Be it a corporate representative.
I see what you did there. Parent.
You like that one, didn't you?
Daddy daughter.
Daddy Daughter Time Mondays. Either at 8 o'clock or 4:30. Actually, it's usually at 8 o'clock because at 4:30 I'm like somewhere in the mix of this band's like 1 to 9 tracks on a Monday. Madness.
Yeah, man. So.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
it has to happen. Overload the system, or as they say, shock the system.
Yeah, man.
So what should we talk about? Since we're just kind of rambling.
We are just going on. I'm trying to figure out how I can get a beer without leaving the set.
Make that too. We'll hold you down, Block. No worries.
Hey, wait a minute. Is she online?
If she ain't supporting, I mean, you're divorcing. That's got to be the motto, Block.
I mean, that's like, she's like one of the only ones.
Get
like,
that on the
if
wedding
anybody's
band.
the backbone to Expose the North, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? It's that woman right there.
It would be Terp with his stocks.
That's not even an ankle joint, bro. But I'll be right back as I'm going to get a beverage. Here's hoping I don't get crucified on my way.
Okay.
Or in my absence. Because you can do that. How can you fucking charge me in my absence?
We would
Without
never
giving
do that.
No, I'm saying in court in general, you can charge me in my
Okay,
absence.
so we're about to talk mad sauce about Block when he leaves.
Terp would never
Without
judge you when you
giving
left
me-
the room.
What?
The room.
Terp would never do it.
I would never do what?
Block's got his second phone. He just like.
He just watches the whole time.
Wait, who's Taylor Robbins?
Ugh.
Oh man.
Alright, so this is Distinct Talk.
Distinct talk. Distinct conversations.
Distinct conversations right here. What the fuck y'all want to talk about, motherfuckers?
You're now tuned in. We're live at 8:40 every week.
This is our
Every
shit,
Wednesdays.
Our show.
No.
This guy's just a guest. We'll be featuring the block.
He comes
Somebody
back.
coming in.
Okay, we're back to Candid Conversations now. We're good.
If y'all could just give him a hand as he comes in.
8:40 next week, y'all.
Now joining us, local MC the block.
Yeah. Welcome to our first guest.
Our first guest.
David the Black Tyrell. Give it up for Black.
Oh, you know, bring the beer with us.
There you go. And he's got beer. Shouts out to you.
Shouts out to
So
me.
yeah, we're live on Distinct Conversations every Wednesday at 8:40.
What the fuck?
we got the block.
Okay.
How are you doing today, bro?
Yeah,
I
good week.
feel like I've been hijacked.
No. This is a separate show.
Separate show. Okay.
It's called Distinct Conversations.
A subsection of one candid conversation. Is this what's really going on?
It's a spinoff.
Distinct.
Oh my gosh. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
All right. Anything interesting happening here this week?
A whole lot, bro. A whole lot.
All right. Let's break it down.
It's a good thing I'm so bright because people like to throw shade. I'll let that one sink in for these dumb fucks for a minute.
What about? Oh, let's take it to the.
Not you watching. We got love for y'all.
What about the band? And then what about one of the artists in the band? And then what about his footage?
Band, artist, and band footage.
You got a new band.
Yeah. Definitely got a new band.
Okay. We won't even go into that really yet, just because this is a distinct conversation. We just want to get right to the point.
Generation.
And then there's a member in that band
No, there's no that member.
that didn't get his footage. What happened there?
Oh, remember that? Well, there was an individual who decided that since the association of it
Who's
was
the individual?
well, that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure who made this decision. Oh wait, we on distinct conversations? No, we not. We on candid conversations.
No, it's
No,
distinct.
distinct
It's separate.
conversations.
It's separate. It doesn't matter. We say names here.
We condone any and all conversations here, and if you got a problem with it said, talk to us.
Viewer discretion advised.
Oh my
Strongly
gosh.
fucking advised.
Parental,
Now let's talk about it.
parental advisory.
All right, so either way as it is, because I'm not running from nobody. One, Les Kish decided that he was going to withhold the information from one Zach Burry because he decided it was appropriate that since his association is with
Appropriation because
me,
of association.
since he has an association with me, that he cannot be, he would not be given that information. And this same kind of situation has presented itself where it came to a track that I was working on with another individual by the name of Don Dobbs, who goes by
And why do you
Don
think
Dobbs,
people do that?
because
they-
they're
they-
intimidated.
Why did they like place one person? And this even happened with like Turt and me, and like that's my boy and shit. But you guys are like placing
What happened there?
things that Turt does
Hold
on
what's up?
me.
Keep talking. You're live.
Oh, it's I get the same thing. Shit that you say, people come at me for it. I'm like, that's a grown ass man.
Yeah,
I don't even get to say shit.
I ain't even gonna say nothing to this man. He's my homie. I'll punch you out if you talk shit about him. But that's a grown ass man. I can't tell him how to speak.
I don't
Yeah,
even
like-
get to say shit. They at me.
Or,
Like,
but not even that though. They're like placing it as if you say it.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
It's like,
excuse me.
nah, everybody is different. Like just because we are friends or whatever in real life doesn't mean that we don't disagree on some shit in real life.
We
Have you
disagree on a
been
lot.
watching the show?
Me and this dude disagree on probably more than we disagree on with people that we want to punch out.
So,
Like,
I mean, people gotta stop doing that.
you ever
Stop
see me?
it.
You ever see me and this guy disagree online? We look like two people who fucking hate each other's guts. Meanwhile, we'll be
I put
fucking.
up a post that you disagreed with online, and I have to sit there and hear bloom,
Well,
a conversation.
Meanwhile, we'll
19
legit be
conversations.
having that conversation while in the same room smoking a blunt.
45 conversations.
Just trolling
you know
each
what I mean?
other.
I remember there's one conversation I was watching.
Shouts out to Saint C. I do that to him all the time.
One conversation
I
I
do
was
that to
watching,
a lot of people.
and it hit like almost 200 comments.
Bro, the other day me and him were having an argument. I was literally outside his house having a smoke. I just walk in the house mid fucking conversation, like, yeah, I'm here.
Right after he lost the debate too, it was funny.
I didn't lose the debate.
It was funny.
This motherfucker, I will find that shit. I did not lose that. I don't even know what we were talking about. See, we disagree on so much shit that I don't even know what it was.
See, he just disagreed right there.
Facts.
It is what it is.
I disagree on all that.
I disagree with everything that's been said.
We're live, distinct conversations.
And,
Every Wednesday at 8:40 p.m.
And fuck
Tune
any
in.
of y'all hold my man shit hostage. My man did some work. Put my man's work out there.
That's whack.
Nah, man. I said, you know what? It's okay. He can put it in the vault, and he can put it in the vault.
Like,
Vault
there's
it,
a lot
that's
of
fine.
artists that I don't work with anymore, and if they release the shit that I was on, I would let them release it. They're not going to, because, everybody is so mad and whatever, but if they did, I would go ahead. If you want to release that shit and
Get me my royalties.
you want to cut me in on it, and that's what you want to do, you can release it. Because that reminds me of another situation when I was working with a couple artists, and everything, even down to, we had the fucking track listing and the cover and everything ready, and then you don't want to invest in it with me. So that's not my problem.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's true. And, like, a lot of people expect us as producers to put all the money in without getting the effort that's required to, like, secure the investment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not free, so if you want to go in on a collaboration project with somebody, don't get upset when you don't put the other steps besides making the music in to releasing a project, and then you get mad when it doesn't get released. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, that is whack.
Figure out a plan that you want to do and execute it. Like, that's the only way things get done.
Facts.
So true.
So,
Especially with music.
And, like,
You can't half-ass a project. You can't be like, all right, all the songs are done, I guess my work's done. No!
yeah.
No, you still got to sit down. You got to order that shit. You got to get the artwork done. You got to fucking do so much shit. You got to prepare for the fucking when's it going to be released. You don't want to just release it on a Tuesday because it's Tuesday and you're done. You want to fucking promo that shit. There's work you got to do.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Distinct conversations.
Distinct conversations. Starts
We
every
throwing shade
Monday,
at
or Wednesday
accusations.
at 8:40. And we say whatever the fuck we want. And we will put
Every Wednesday at 8:40.
every Wednesday at 8:40.
Like, if you're not tuned in here, I don't know what you're doing.
You're wasting your nights.
We're 8 minutes in right now.
With
What
our
else?
first
So what
guest
else?
to block.
With our first guest, the Block. What about Cheshire Black?
Cheshire Black.
Talk to us about that after you're finished eating your
Mm.
Triscuit nachos.
Okay, so
Fire
Cheshire
snack.
Black.
The healthy alternative.
Mm-hmm.
This episode of Distinct Conversations has been brought to you by Triscuits. In more than a few delicious flavors now, I found out
Yeah,
recently.
bro. There's
Yeah.
so many.
So, shouts out to Triscuit.
Portuguese, rosemary, and herb.
We don't have
The
the,
jalapeno ones, bro.
Oh my gosh.
the snack that goes a long way.
Yeah. Okay, so
I mean, that wasn't. I don't know if is that a real slogan?
I don't know.
but that,
We can use it.
That should be a slogan. That could be a
The
slogan.
snack that
That's
goes a long way because you
Yeah.
can bring it in a container.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they stay fresh.
Mhm.
They're nice. Even if it was stale, I feel like it would be good.
Cheshire Black's on its way.
Anyways, yeah, Cheshire
Cheshire
Black.
Black's on its way. I have, you know what I mean, a few songs for the album. I said I'm going to do 9 songs for the album. So far, I think I have 4 or 5 of them. I have a few more written. I just have to get them recorded. But, like, juggling the podcast and then, you know what I mean?
And
working
speaking
with-
of podcasts, this episode of Distinct Conversations has been sponsored by the album Cheshire Black, in which proceeds will be donated to Distinct Conversations. Shout out to the Black.
I said letting them hijack my show wasn't enough. You say what now?
It's also brought to you by Starbucks.
He purposely buys the caramel ones because he knows I'm allergic.
Damn.
Or I enjoy them.
Hopefully, don't
Nah, that
spill
doesn't
it.
sound selfish enough.
Turp, even though you already spilt the beer earlier, don't
I didn't
spill that
spill
on
the
block.
beer.
If you
This
spill it
man
on
spilled
block,
the beer.
yeah,
Yeah,
This
man.
man spilled the beer.
could be bad.
I'm not even telling y'all the titles. Just know we got like a couple of songs ready and recorded. I'm debating on re-recording them because I got a new system midway through the whole recording process, and I know that I'm gonna get. Yeah.
That quality change is gonna become apparent.
Yeah, it is.
It's terrible.
Really is. So I might have to redo it that way, but
that hurt.
yeah, it does, but it's okay because if I had been fully done, then I'd feel the ways. But I can also just export the vocals and import the vocals and just remix it instead of, re-recording the whole process.
Did you not change out your mics at all or anything?
No, same mic. Different
Okay.
sound card, different speakers, different computer.
The different sound card might make a difference, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely will.
Yeah.
It definitely will.
Yeah, so there we go. Thanks, guys. Your videos weren't enough work.
Speaking of, live on Distinct Conversations, Terp, when is your video dropping? Like, what's going on with that? Is there like a reproduction of it?
Oh, I don't know. When is it?
That video can drop as soon as after the show. I just have to upload it and, hit it on the USB and upload it.
Apparently, we're gonna upload it after the show.
There you go.
You can check it on.
You heard it here first on Distinct Conversations.
Distinct Conversations.
You can catch it on youtube.com/Block Basics Studios. BLOCKBASICS.
That's not going on the VKL page. What's going on?
STUDIOS. Yeah.
Terp.
I could give you a version for there.
I'll let him have the director's cut. He put in the work.
He did.
He didn't have to. The original's already.
The reward is the finished product. You know what I mean?
True.
I think I have two versions of it.
Because I have the original version is just on like my own page as a video by itself.
So we're gonna have the
So you
special
didn't put
scenes,
so then it didn't go up on YouTube then.
backstage
YouTube, yeah.
pass
But
to the
the first
shooting
video
of the
ever on.
video.
Okay.
He even got your entire night's sleep the day before you filmed the video on camera, and that's going to be live in the special features.
Wait, what?
The link will be underneath. Oh,
Oh man, could you
Fuck, can I
imagine?
sleep with pants on?
This film is not yet rated.
Oh, man.
Terrible. But we hear, conversations are brewing. Oh my gosh.
Distinct Conversations.
Yes, candid conversations indeed. In a distinct manner, these conversations are occurring as we expose the North, etc. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long week from last Wednesday till now, and realize I've thrown in 3 podcasts too. So let's talk about it. How do you manage your work week, your workload?
Me?
Yeah.
Workload management. Speaking of Kawhi Leonard.
I just go in, I do what I gotta do, and I get the fuck out. See, I drive all over Ontario, like Southern Ontario, the Golden Horseshoe. So, and then I also go like as far as like Kitchener and shit. So it makes for some long fucking days. But I find some good fucking music. A lot of times I'll just throw on beats. And I'll just listen to beats for the long drives.
Okay.
And over the years, I've gotten to know a lot of the customers, so it's not bad. I'll have smokes and shit with some of the the cooks and shit that I know, and the fucking the staff at the places.
Okay.
It makes for a good job.
Okay.
Good benefits, good money. I can't complain.
True.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it is grueling, especially this time of year.
Mm.
This time of year is a fucking pain in the ass between now and fucking January. But then once January hits, I don't have to fucking do fuck all. Because nobody's got no money to spend.
I That's how it goes.
So that's,
Go broke for me.
I look forward for that.
Yeah.
I look forward to January and February, because then that's when it's easy.
True.
No doubt.
There's obviously the weather impacts you, but like,
Yeah.
Paid by the hour though, so fuck it.
Yeah.
okay.
As long as you ain't on salary, weather,
I would never do my
Traffic,
job on salary.
weather, traffic, you're on the clock. Who cares?
I
I don't know why people get so mad.
I would never do my job on salary.
I would never get mad being paid hourly in traffic.
The only time
Never.
I'm mad is when it
I'm like,
impacts
okay, cool.
me being able to be there for shit that I got to do for my kids. That's when I get pissed off. Like
Well,
if
you're,
my kids
you're,
got, like,
if you're
a school
working
event.
overtime, that's for your kids.
But if my kids got like a school event or something,
Oh yeah.
which is really sucks around the holidays because you got the school events and all that shit. And if I'm late for one of those, then I fucking want to snap.
Oh man, I remember some dude almost made me late for my daughter's graduation. One of the reasons I actually had to have that surgery.
Oh.
One of those surgeries. You know what I mean?
If I'm late for something that I actually have to do, then I fucking hate it. I hate the existence of every single fucking human being in front of me on the highway.
Does that count for being late for doctor's appointments too?
No, because we're talking about getting paid to be in traffic.
Yeah, we're talking about people who get paid to make
You're
you wait.
still on the clock here, is what I'm talking
I don't
about.
think you're
Okay.
understanding how annoying traffic can be after doing it for 10 years.
I don't understand.
No, him.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I've driven for jobs and fucking driven my whole life.
Bro, I used to have to do a route I used to have to do like a 700-kilometer route daily.
Man, when I was getting paid for it,
Daily.
I laughed. Every time I would come up to a fucking big traffic jam, I started laughing. I would go, this is awesome. I'm getting paid for this right now.
Okay.
Positive mindset. And it's true. Like, and at this time, I'm like making $20-something an hour to just sit there. Like, I know I'm going to be stuck in this spot probably for about 40 minutes.
There's a difference with
I
that.
just made
Your job wasn't all driving. It was driving
A
to
lot of it
somewhere and then
was.
doing your job and then driving back from there.
Yeah, but that's essentially what yours is.
Input.
Bro, mine is 95% driving, 5% doing something else.
But you're still going to do something there.
and then
touche.
driving a long distance to do something else somewhere. I stop at like 17, 18 places in a day.
What?
Yeah, bro.
I thought you did like 7 to 10 or some shit like that. I didn't like it. Like I thought it was
Still,
like
we're
maybe
doing
one
two
or
or
two a
we were
city.
doing 2 or 3 in
Oh,
a day.
two or three. You drove to two
And
or three
in the
locations.
busiest fucking
I had to
section,
drive to 2 or 3 locations.
Oakville, and fucking
Markham, Richmond Hill, Brampton.
all that.
Food.
Yep.
Tomorrow I'll be in Toronto, Markham, Richmond Hill, Brampton, Mississauga, and Oakville.
Round of applause for Turk being in all those places in one day.
Thank you. It's fucking deserved. It's nice
Yeah.
to see somebody finally fucking appreciate what
You're
the fuck I
welcome.
do.
See, we show respect
Why you
around
swearing
here
us? We
at
clapping
Distinct
your hands- we clapping
Conversations.
hands for you. Why you swearing at us?
Guys, I
Yeah.
can sense the sarcasm, motherfuckers.
There is no sarcasm
I
here
was
at
being
all.
genuine. You know how hard it is to balance a beer? I didn't have to clap at all, motherfucker.
Do you know how meaningful this conversation is to us right
I'm
now?
high right now. This takes coordination.
It's a distinct conversation.
I'm just saying, it ain't all fucking fun and games.
Oh, no, we hear that. We hear that. Like, and I find like I don't have to drive for an extended period of time, and then when I have to drive, I have to drive.
Like, I was in Cambridge by like 9:30 this morning.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. It means you're out at like...
I left St.
I'm sorry,
Catharines
ladies
at
and-
like just after 8.
I have to floss my tooth. This is really bugging me, huh?
But I was in Cambridge by fucking before 10.
Wow.
I was leaving Guelph by 2:33. It's a pretty long fucking day on the road.
Mm-hmm.
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 And that's including like Kitchener, Waterloo, that whole
Right.
fucking section. Yeah. You're even driven to Guelph?
But you're getting paid that entire time.
He does make a valid point, though.
That's the thing here,
Like,
Turk.
if that is the basis of this particular conversation, Not like
Yeah,
then
your argument just went against.
I never said that I'm not
essentially.
getting paid the whole time. I just said that I still have the ability to be frustrated with traffic when that's what I have in front of me. Because here's where the frustration.
But you're frustrated for no
but-
reason
but
if you're
here's
getting
where the
paid for
Here's
it.
where the frustration is.
The longer
Some
that traffic
people-
lasts, the more money
But
you make.
Some people like me, I don't value money over my time.
Okay.
So
there
for
you
me,
go.
if I'm not off the road by when I'm supposed to be off the road,
You're still getting paid.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Time versus money and go.
I value my time.
You're
I
still
value.
getting paid.
I value. I'm not materialistic. I don't give a fuck as long as I can do what I do. All my bills are paid. I get my weed. I get my food. I get to take care of my kids. I'm good.
So you have things
And
that
that's
you
where I'm at.
need to make money in order to do.
But I can do that without
is
ever
what you're
having
trying
to
to say to me,
work. I can do that without ever having to work
in a
day past
nutshell.
4. I can do that without having to work an hour past 4. So why the fuck would I? Should
And
I
what
be
would you be
excited?
doing while you're from whatever
Spending
time
time
you
with my
start?
kids.
No,
Spending time with
no.
my homies.
What time do you start in the morning?
Between 7 and 8.
So what would you be doing in between that time and 4?
Okay. I'm talking about after
You'd
4.
be driving.
Yes. I'm talking about days when I'm stuck on the road after 4.
Then calculate your times better. Find different routes.
This motherfucker acting like a transport truck can't crash in front of me.
It can't.
Do you realize how long
Come
I
on,
spent on
Trey.
the road the day that dumbass fucking... when that dumbass fucking drove his truck into the fucking Skyline Bridge?
Oh, you
Bro.
were on the road that day?
I had to drive for the next week, too, when the Skyline Bridge wasn't fucking open. You know how fucking jammed up that shit was? Take me 4 hours to get to Toronto.
So you gotta
And that was during Carabana.
calculate for that.
Bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, I did. I had to leave my house at fucking 3:30, 4 o'clock in the fucking morning in
Wait.
order to get home by 5.
Were you paid for that time?
I value me time more than I value money.
No, but that's a general
not-
question.
Yes,
now
but
they
I
don't
value
answer.
me time more than I value that.
Okay.
But that's not the point.
I'm able to survive without ever having to work a minute overtime. How the fuck would I want to? I will never be happy.
More
about it.
money?
I don't care.
You never want to make more money than you make.
But you're still not complacent.
I'm happier if I can spend that time with who I want to spend that time with, as opposed to
Like, does that go for the same with music? Do you never want to be better than the last track?
I don't care if I ever make money off of music.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm going with the money thing.
But now
Which
I'm
are
going
you
with
with?
the other thing about the time, which is essentially the fucking
yeah,
art.
but your money. You're supposed to be arguing money.
Yeah, you're supposed to be.
But
arguing money.
you're supposed to be arguing the other thing, but you just
The
took
me time?
mine.
Yeah, you did. Kind of thing.
I'm down.
So I just took the other one. Do si do.
How did that switch?
We just switched up like spirits are jumping out of
This
bodies and
motherfucker
shit.
just can't just do that. That's
See
just weird.
that? See that? Distinct conversation.
That wasn't even something. You just kind of switched. and
Every
then I asked you
Wednesday
about
at
it,
8:40
and now you're promoting
p.m.
it. Like
After candid
Eastern time.
conversations.
It's very
After
confusing.
candid conversations, which should start at 6,
There's distinct
which
conversations where
starts around 7.
shit stops making sense and words happen.
That's right. It stopped making sense way before.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't give a fuck about that overtime pay. I prefer having that time with my friends and family. I value shit like that.
Okay.
Can't take money to your grave.
Oh, you can, but you'd be a fucking vindictive prick to do so.
It don't make no sense anyway. You just worm food. The fuck you gonna spend it on?
Okay.
No matter how rich you are, your body still rots the same.
Some people will pour the water out of a kettle so the next person can't get a cup of tea, bro. Telling you.
I'm down for that. How the fuck you gonna profit off of me boiling this shit? Unless you gonna give me something in return.
What if I've already
Fuck
given
your
you?
hot water.
What if I've already
Fuck
given
your
you?
hot water.
I've already given you more than enough. What the fuck do you mean? Like, where the fuck did you get the electricity from? You
If it's your
motherfucker.
electricity, then maybe then it's our hot water.
You
But
motherfucker.
if this is my plug, my kettle, my cold water, I turn into hot water. Fuck your hot water.
It's none of that.
I'm gonna bring a thermos and use every little bit of that hot water.
It was none of that. It was just. Oh, fuck your hot water.
Fuck your hot water. Fuck your tea bag, motherfucker.
Shit.
I don't know what more to say.
This guy's like, yo, so if I
It's
ever
just
ask this man for
another
tea,
Wednesday.
he's just gonna pour water out right in front of my face.
Straight up. That's what it sounds like. What's that, huh?
I'm just saying.
Can I get a cup, bruh? Bruh, can I get a cup? What? Cup of what? Bruh! Bruh!
I can see the stain coming out of the sink.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Can I just put my cup under that? No. Yo, this motherfucker just burned my arm.
you know what I mean? Like, fuck! My arm!
I would never do that to you, Block.
I'd hope the hell not, but again, why would someone hope to hell if not hope to heaven?
Hope to hell.
See, it's like
What a
speaking of
saying
the
is
devil. Like, who in the hell? Like, why would you want to speak of the devil?
Devil doesn't exist. So I don't know.
It's the same thing about talking about Dragon Ball Z. Why would you speak about Dragon Ball Z? It doesn't really exist. It's not really a real thing.
Oh man!
Dun, 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 dun.
According to a limited number of individuals who have probably been
According to
offended
atheists everywhere,
by a limited
and
number
every
of
other
individuals,
religion that's non-Christian, the
who
devil
still
and-
believe in a higher power.
but the devil and God, as you guys, as like Christians, see him.
Don't lump me in a group of body of people and you don't
Well,
even know
okay,
anything
what are
about
you?
my beliefs.
What would your belief?
There's
You
the
don't
first
know
question.
him?
There's the first
You
question
don't know
should have
him?
asked.
What's your belief system then?
My belief system.
You don't
is
know
original.
him?
It's like my own. It's not of any cultivation of these.
Which
systems
entity
or
do you
sects.
believe exists?
I believe that there's a higher power that has some control over what's going on, and even if you look at it as the individual who knows all of the functions of these structures that
Gas
exist,
powered? Is that the plane?
Okay, which book?
Higher power?
Which book do you put?
See, there you go.
the
You're
Musaka?
trying to put me in a box. I don't fit the mold.
A box is a casket
so
for
you're
people that
agnostic
don't know what a box is.
When it comes to religion,
I'll put him
everybody
in a
fits
box
into some
in a
sort of box
bag.
'cause you're somewhere on the spectrum.
Have him boxing like
You're
that.
agnostic. You believe in something, but you don't care about its fucking name. You just think there's something up there that's obviously got to exist.
I haven't knocked out a lot of people that deserve it, so yeah, there's got to be something holding me back.
So you're saying that there has to be a moral code for humans to not knock each other out?
No, I have to say there has to be something that's stopping me from doing the damage that I could be doing to people that have.
Why does there have to be a rule book though? That's not putting a lot of faith in
Why does
humankind.
it?
How do you- but
give
how-
me a reason
Wait,
to
wait,
put faith in humankind.
Wait, Block, but
Like
how
I
do
need
you
it.
know you would have
I
even...
am the faith of humankind.
Hold on, wait a second. How do you
There's
know
gotta
that...
be a commandment against that.
Real question. How do you know that you would even still be alive if that was the law of rule? You might have already been killed by somebody who was the alpha to you before you even got to be where you're at in a position to
Done
get anyone
nothing
else.
to no one for that to even be the case.
It doesn't matter. They're just
Yes,
because
it
they're the
does.
bigger alpha. It doesn't matter.
If you're threatened by my presence, that's your fault, insurance. I have nothing to do with that.
Maybe
I'm
somebody was
being
just
me.
crazy, and because there's no rule against it, they just went off and killed you
Bro,
before you even became
I've
big
been-
enough to make that move on anyone else.
This is why
Then what happens?
This is why I've moved the way I have moved, under the radar, beyond the sight and the reach of anybody in society who has some sort of negative grasp. Because I refuse to be that example. You know what I mean? That's why I've done it in such a way that has created such controversy. Because if I had done it any other way, without the attention span, that could have been the case. If I had stayed in the front of the foresight of everybody, or the forefront of where I was, like, that could have been the case, but I decided to take a different direction when I saw things were getting too heated. You know what I mean? When I went out there was a night that I was supposed to go out to celebrate one of my friend's birthdays. And I just had a vibe. I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna go. I just, like, you know what I mean? Didn't feel that it was appropriate. That night, that same place they all went to got shot up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's when I was just like, okay, maybe it's time to just take a step back. So, I don't know who was involved or what went down fully, but I just know that they were where I should have been, and exactly what you said could have been the case. And then there was another situation. This situation is really fucked up.
But that first one was on site.
What?
The first situation. It was on site.
It was an on-site situation.
So, as speaking of sites, Spreaker.com/distinct conversations every Wednesday at 8:40. Continue.
If y'all gonna open it, it's actually the Tyrell effect if you want to find this conversation. But but yeah.
Distinct.
Okay, so here, let me be vulnerable then. The situation was this: I was on the side of the road with my brother.
I don't know. Wait, hold on. Before you go, you just went, let me be vulnerable. Like, is that like, are you actually being vulnerable, or are you being sarcastic right now?
No,
because you did like the. Let me be vulnerable. Like I don't know whether to take this as a vulnerable thing right now, just the way you segued into that.
I've been pointing out the fact that y'all have been at me a little bit, and so let me just
This is distinct conversations. That's how we roll.
As we expose the North.
ETN.
Oh man.
Canon Conversations. Catch it every week before Distinct Conversations. And possibly for a little bit after Distinct Conversations.
It essentially opens up for us. Every Wednesday.
Fox, like, what the fuck?
Anyways. So, as the situation presented itself where some jackass ran me off the road, I was left to wonder why it happened and how it happened and all of that stuff. So while I was wondering why it happened and how it happened, and like wondering who was going to help me deal with the situation.
Man versus machine is why that happened.
No, it was some jackass who had been chasing my brother down to do something
in what?
to him. It was an Oldsmobile of some sort.
Which is what?
The machine.
Versus the machine.
Well, if it's man versus machine, man won because I'm still here. Point proven.
That metal's in a refrigerator somewhere.
According to science,
it's in a refrigerator.
You should have seen the other car. According to what? Did he actually hit you?
According to science, I shouldn't be here.
You and me both, my friend.
So my point validated.
Was it validated distinctly?
Is my parking validated? That's all I need to know.
Yeah, my shit good up there?
I haven't heard anybody knock on the door, so here's hoping.
Look at my shit. I gotta go check. I gotta go check my shit.
You might want to, actually.
Do you validate parking?
I just gotta go look out the window.
City Hall's closed.
Bach, do you validate parking?
Apparently, I'm the parking Nazi. You didn't know?
I do now.
Fuck.
And that was racist.
I don't even know how. How can I be racist? It's not like there's any, like, really, bro, like, do you have to play the how many game? No.
In sports or wrestling, how many can be the deciding factor of whether you win or lose.
Facts. How many times does that ref's hand hit the mat to end a wrestling
If
match?
it's 3,
match over. If it's just 2, game over.
even if it's 2 and then he kicks out,
How many
gets the
times
shoulder
did you
up, then
This past Survivor
Still
Series, actually, you're right. It was a triumphant situation for NXT. Yeah, NXT. They just wrecked everything, man. They fucking...
that's what, Sunday?
Yeah, that was the Sunday pass.
That's 5 days after Distinct Conversations. Every week.
Where we talk about everything and nothing at the same time.
Oh, fuck. No, he did it. That's a good one. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Oh, man.
And we're going to call a show after that. Half-hour episode. Thanks for tuning in to Distinct Conversations.
Thank you for joining us on Distinct Conversations with our first guest to block.
We're going to send it back.
We're going to send it back to Canon Conversations every Wednesday night.
At 6
At
p.m.
Between 6 and 7-ish.
Yeah.
Whenever we show up to do our Distinct Conversations afterwards. We're a little bit late sometimes. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
But, so The Block, who you got on Candid Conversations with you this week?
Well, this week we got this thing coalition members, StottyP and Interp. You know what I mean?
What is good?
It is what it is.
We already did this one.
I've seen this one before.
Oh, we already did this one.
Yeah. You know.
I guess we got to wrap up this show as well, too.
I guess it might as well. It would make sense
Seeing
after
as-
that wrap up. You know what I mean? But this is just a little bit of what you get to see when we bring and interpret StottyP. Definitely been an interesting show for me.
I was like, yo, I ain't never leaving the studio again when I got a show going. Fuck that shit.
Ever. I'm just gonna maintain the reins.
That was our segue.
You gonna leave during a track, come down, gonna be a whole new verses laid down over his shit. Dude's walking out the door and go, what the fuck just happened?
It was the perfect transition.
Stott's gonna show up for Hardline. Y'all gonna have a remix for the track and shit. I'm not gonna be on it or nothing. Just like, not even a hug.
Fucking the hard line with Stott and Interp.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
You mean Distinct Conversations every Wednesday at 8:40.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, but...
Cop your Distinct Conversations t-shirts. Order now.
We have our exposed to
limited
broadcasting.
supply.
We accept PayPal. You know what I mean? We accept email money transfer as well. Exposed to North
We
Hats.
prefer the money in small bills in a brown bag.
Boom. But yeah. We done for now. It's what it is.
Alright.
Conversations have been candid and distinct.
That's what's up. Thank you for joining us for the very first episode of Distinct Conversations. Featuring very first guest, The Block.
David the Block Tyrell.
This is like fucking that
Shouts
like,
out. We also want to thank David the Block Tyrell for hosting our first show.
Yes.
And allowing us in the studio for our very first podcast.
Very first podcast, Distinct Conversations.
Distinct Conversations every Wednesday.
Oh man, that's great. That is great. All right, boom.
Remember, DISTINCT.
Check us out
What's
every
that spell?
Wednesday.
Distinct.
All right, bless. Hey, yo, here we go. Then we got here.
Ah.
Just took over.
Took over.